This initiative emerged during the Revolution of Dignity. There was a huge dump in the center of the city, and during the revolution, people from Maidan, they removed the fence to the barricades, and then this garbage place opened. People have seen the huge garbage place and decided to turn it into the beautiful garden. They decided to call it Heavenly 100 Garden because it started during this tragic event. Actually, nobody supposed that the government would kill people, and the first who was shot down was Sergei Nigoyan, and his portrait now actually in the Heavenly 100 Garden. It happened in the January after already almost 2 months of Revolution of Dignity, and then at 18th and 20th of February, a lot of people were shut down. So it's the most tragic events of the new history of Ukraine, and people never could imagine that in 21st century it's possible to just shut down people in the European capital, in the center of the city. But the philosophy of this project is new, because it's called Heavenly 100, but people supposed to come there and share their ideas, but not to cry. It's not the place for sorrow and for tears. It's the place for creating new ideas, for uniting people, for kids, for love, for young people. So it's totally new philosophy, let's say. So it's not only the idea, it's new philosophy.
What is the main goal of your initiative?
Our main goal is to make this local communities, so people united around the common goal. That's the first target. Then it's of course ecological point, because we created the Heavenly 100 Garden. There are grass, there are flowers, there are trees, and it's also make the ecological situation in the city better. In the city we also can have food. We want to promote this ecological ideas, that it's nice to plant vegetables, local vegetables, and to use these vegetables and fruits. If you have urban gardens and you plant vegetables and fruits, then you spend less money in the supermarket. The goal is also politician. We can't skip politics. So we, through urban gardening, through creating public spaces, we want to explain that people are the power in the city, and we want to decide what we want to have and to see in our city. So I think that with this Heavenly 100 Garden, and basically with the idea of gardening and the garden city idea, we cover all spheres of our life. Actually, it's politics, economy, social sphere, ecology. So it's very wide, very sustainable, and a wide range of ideas that we're trying to cover.
Who owns this land officially?
See, the history of Heavenly 100 Garden, it's somehow the small history of the big Ukraine, you know? Yeah, because this land plot is situated in the center of the city, and just after the Ukraine received the independence, people from the city wanted to buy it and to build the hotel. And this process, it started in 1991 and ended up in 2007, when they basically bought this land plot. The mayor of Kyiv sold this land plot for his neighbor, let's say. So son-in-law. So it's a corrupted scheme, but this corrupted scheme was made very legally, and all documents are okay. Legally, it looks very good, but in Ukraine there are lots of corrupted schemes that legally look very good. You never would say that it wasn't legal. And people during all this period they were trying to fight for this land plot. And now what we're doing through the courts, of course, we're working a lot. Then we're trying to explain our mayor, Mr. Klitschko. Then he needs to show his political will, maybe to communicate with the owner, to explain that he would never build any office center there. So we're trying to work both in the legal sphere and with politicians, and they don't understand the situation. The times changed. Now people are very active and they would protect what they created. I used to live near the Heavenly 100 Garden, and actually in our team I was the only person who lived there. Other participants of the team, they live in different parts of Kyiv. And yes, and the house burned down, and there are three theories why they burned the house. And one of them is because of my active
political life, say.
Yeah, let's say political yes, position. Let's say my active position. I can say that it's very hard to work with the local government, because they used to these old schemes and they used to old perception of the social society. They think that we are paid by oligarchs and they were paid by other people. They don't really believe that there are people who want to do their cities better, something for free. And they always looking for this kind of fraud or kind of my for example personal interest. And actually I'm partially happy that my house burned down and I'm not living now near the Heavenly 100 Garden, because before they used to say, oh, you're living near the Heavenly 100 Garden, that's why you want to protect it. Now I'm not living there and still I want to protect it. They treat us, I mean social activists, as they treat themselves. They don't understand how one can do something without money, with no profit. And that's why it's different of perceptions, let's say. We are already trying to build the community of social activists, so we want to be organized, we want to have our common goals, our common vision, and to work on this vision. When social activists are organized, they're more effective, and they if the house of one activist is burned down, the other would work. Yes, it's
to create
yes, we need to create yes, we need to create the community that would have power to resist the bad ideas of the local government. 2 days ago it was much hotter, and now it's snowing. So it's the same situation with our grassroots project, that at some stage you're losing this hope that things are going to change for better, but you're not losing this hope. So we hope that in 2 days the weather would be much better. And of course it's a process of transformation, and the only thing we can do now is to understand that it's a long work, and it's nice to see the small results, but we need to be patient and not to stop doing things before we see bigger results. So it's definitely spring, it's not summer for the moment. It's not winter already, but it's not summer. No, it's not winter.